Picture the African savanna. You're on a safari, binoculars around your neck, hat on, sunscreen applied because apparently that's still necessary for our species. Your guide points out a lion resting under an acacia tree. Everyone goes quiet. Someone grabs their camera. Hearts beat a little faster. Then you pass a pod of hippos, wallowing in a muddy river, half submerged, barely moving, looking like a collection of very large, very content boulders. Nobody tenses up. Someone probably says, "Aw." This is one of the most dangerous cognitive errors a human being can make on the African continent, because the hippos will kill you enthusiastically, without warning, and in numbers that make the lion look like a mild inconvenience by comparison. Hippos are responsible for an estimated 500 to 3,000 human deaths every single year across sub-Saharan Africa, depending on the source and the reliability of rural reporting. Lions, the undisputed symbol of African danger in every nature documentary ever made, kill somewhere between 20 and 250 people annually. Even at the most generous estimates for lions and the most conservative for hippos, it isn't close. So why does nobody know this? And more importantly, why is an animal that looks like a sentient sofa one of the most reliably lethal creatures on the planet? Let's start with what a hippo actually is, because most people's mental model is badly wrong. The hippopotamus is the third largest land animal on Earth, behind elephants and white rhinos. Adult males regularly reach 3,500 pounds. Some exceed 4,000. They stand 5 feet tall at the shoulder and can be up to 17 feet long. Their canine teeth, the ones that curve dramatically upward like nature's most aggressive can opener, can reach 20 inches in length. Their bite force has been measured at approximately 1,800 pounds per square inch. For reference, a lion's bite force is around 650. A great white shark is roughly 4,000, which is the only number in this paragraph that should make you feel slightly better about hippos. They can run at 20 miles per hour on land. This is faster than most humans. This is, frankly, unfair given their shape, and they are extraordinarily aggressive by default, not as a last resort. Most dangerous animals operate on a threat response system. Disturb them enough and they'll react. Get too close to their young and they'll charge. Block their escape route and they'll fight. The aggression is real, but it has a trigger, a threshold you have to cross before things get dangerous. Hippos have a dramatically lower threshold than almost anything else alive. They are territorial in water, which is where they spend most of their time regulating body temperature. And they will charge boats that enter their zone without hesitation. Not as a warning, not as a bluff. They will capsize wooden fishing boats and kill the occupants. This happens regularly enough that fishermen along the Nile, the Congo, and the Zambezi rivers consider hippo attacks a genuine occupational hazard, in the same category as weather. But here's the part people don't expect. They're also territorial on land, specifically along the paths they use to travel from water to their grazing areas at night. If you happen to be standing on one of these paths after dark and you don't see the hippo coming, because hippos are surprisingly quiet for their size, the hippo will not stop and reconsider. It will simply run through you on its way to wherever it was going. This isn't malice, it's momentum. And at 3,500 pounds moving at 20 miles per hour, the distinction doesn't matter much from your perspective. Now here's the thing that makes hippos uniquely dangerous compared to lions, leopards, or crocodiles. Lions are ambush predators. They want the element of surprise, a clean kill, minimum risk to themselves. When a lion charges a human, there's usually a reason: hunger, threat to cubs, territorial intrusion, and crucially, lions give warning signs: tail flicking, crouching, ear position. Experienced guides can read a lion's body language and know what's coming. The danger is real, but it's legible. Hippos are not legible. They can be completely calm one moment and charging at full speed the next, with no discernible warning, no posturing, no escalation. Wildlife researchers who study hippos describe the experience as deeply unnerving, precisely because the normal behavioral cues that precede an attack in other species simply don't reliably appear. The animal that looked like it was sleeping was not sleeping. The one that seemed to be slowly moving away was not moving away. There's also the problem of their amphibious lifestyle creating a specific kind of danger that most tourists never consider. When a hippo is mostly submerged, you often cannot see it. What looks like a clear stretch of river might have several tons of extremely irritable animal just beneath the surface. Canoes and small boats have been capsized by hippos that the occupants never saw coming. The attack comes from below, from nothing, which is a category of danger that essentially eliminates your ability to respond. Crocodiles do this too, which is why experienced river guides in Africa treat every stretch of calm water with deep suspicion. But crocodiles are patient and methodical. A hippo is a different kind of problem entirely. A crocodile wants to eat you. A hippo mostly just wants you gone, and the method it uses to communicate this preference is not a strongly worded letter. There's something else worth mentioning, something that neatly explains why hippos have this reputation gap despite their numbers. Lions kill dramatically. A lion attack looks like what we've been conditioned since childhood to think danger looks like. Fast, powerful, a predator doing predator things. It maps onto our existing mental model of threat. It appears in every nature documentary. It's the image on safari brochures and the logo of sports teams and the symbol of kingdoms. A hippo attack often looks like a large animal walking into something, or a boat suddenly being not there anymore. It doesn't fit the mental template. It's not cinematic. It's just extremely sudden and extremely final, which the human brain categorizes differently, even though the outcome is identical. This is actually a documented phenomenon in risk perception psychology. Humans consistently overestimate danger from things that look dangerous and underestimate danger from things that don't. We fear plane crashes more than car accidents. We fear sharks more than deer, even though deer cause more human deaths annually in North America through vehicle collisions than sharks have caused in all of recorded history combined. The hippo is the deer of Africa, statistically speaking, and somehow that sentence is the most alarming thing in this entire script. So what do you actually do if you encounter a hippo? Get out of the way, immediately. If you're in a boat, paddle hard in the opposite direction and don't stop. If you're on land and a hippo is between you and the water, you have made a serious navigational error. Climb something if you can, because hippos are not climbers. Run in a zigzag pattern if you can't, though given the speed differential, this is more of a psychological comfort than a reliable strategy. Mostly, just don't be near hippos. A sentiment that applies to fewer animals than you might think, but applies to hippos with particular urgency. The lion sitting under the acacia tree is beautiful and dangerous, and deserves every bit of respect your nervous system is currently sending it. But the pod of hippos in the Brown River that everyone on the safari bus just photographed and cooed over, those ones are keeping score, and they are winning.